Faith Dipped Chocolate, Chapter 7, Sunrise Baking. I heard the incessant buzzing of the alarm, but chose to roll over instead of rising to its call. My husband's bare feet made a soft pitter-patter sound on the wood floor as he strode to our dresser and silenced the alarm's relentless plea for attention. Refusing to get out of bed, I burrowed deeper into the warm cocoon I'd entered the evening before. I was taking the day off from work. For me, there would be no rushing headlong into the black morning and no scraping frost off car windows. I moved not a muscle as I heard the shower shut off. Fraying sleep, I listened as John quietly dressed using only the dim light for our master bath. I knew I should get up. I had dozens and dozens of fancy cookies to make, but a particular thought began to hack its nasty little way into my consciousness. If I choose to make simple cookies, I would be done in about half the time. No one expected me to make the elegant bittersweet chocolate-dipped, almond-rolled, sugar-sprinkled confections I had planned. Keeping it simple would allow me to sleep late. John fumbled for his keys on the nightstand. Then leaned over and planted a kiss on my cheek. You told me to wake you before I left. Are you getting up? Or should I reset the alarm to give you another hour of sleep? Through the squint of one eye, I saw him grin unmercifully as he adjusted the covers once again. I deliberately squeezed my eyes shut and refused to reply. Okay, then. I'm leaving now. Have fun baking, he called over his shoulder. Sure thing, I mumbled in return. The front door thumped closed a moment later. I rolled over, punched the pillow, and sought a cozy position that would let sleep return, but God wouldn't allow me to rest. It's only 5:45 a.m., I grumbled. I have a right to sleep in this once. Silence surrounded me like water envelops a drowning man. God had my attention. I washed, dressed, and brewed a large pot of coffee. Sipping my first cup, I watched the early rays of morning stream through the front window. Awesome, God, I whispered, thanks. Getting up early to bake and chocolate coat 20 dozen cookies wasn't such a big deal. Each morning, my Heavenly Father generously creates for me a brand new sunrise. For my pleasure, he laces each spring with the fragrance of flowers, and in the winter he coats my bleak, sin-dusted world with fresh white snow. I could have prepared a quick bar cookie recipe, but God was calling me to put myself into my gift. This wasn't about making cookies for a group of senior citizens. My task was to prepare sweets that would share Christ with men and women who needed to feel the kiss of his sunrise. Refreshed by God's presence, I eagerly picked up a bag of chocolate chips and turned toward my oven. It was time to get to work. Now, concerning love of the brothers and sisters, you do not need to have anyone write to you, for you yourselves have been taught by God to love one another, and indeed you do. But we urge you, beloved, to do so more and more, to aspire to live quietly, to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we directed you, so that you may behave properly toward outsiders. 1 Thessalonians 4:9-12. Fun fact. Baby Ruth candy bars are named not for the famous home run king, but for the President Grover Cleveland's youngest daughter, Ruth. Interesting. Well, that ends chapter 7.